Okay, so this is kind of a different video from everything else, but there's been this like funny message tweet like statistic going around that like Deadlock has been picked 0 times in the most recent Valorant like tournament. And it's like, yeah, anyone could have seen this coming because Deadlock is like a dog shit fucking character. And I kind of just want to make like a short video explaining why this character is so dog shit because like there's no reason to pick this character. I want to also preface, like, I'm not a game designer or anything like that, and I'm not even that good at Valorant, but, like, even to me, it just seems really obvious that, like, this character isn't going to be, like, popular until they get, like, a rework, because I don't think you need a buff to their abilities. I think just, like, well, okay, I think there's, like, an obvious buff you can make that I'll go into, but, like, I think this character just needs something different, because, like, the way that they're made right now, the intent behind a lot of their abilities is just eternally going to keep them as, like, a worse version of a lot of other Sentinels. So, let's talk about that, right? So, Deadlock is a Sentinel, which is a kind of archetype of class in Valorant, which is about, like, preventing enemies from pushing, sort of, a lot of them have, like, sensors or trips or some kind of way of, like, detecting where enemies are that give you, like, guaranteed information. Deadlock, being a Sentinel, has a couple of these tools, but they're all really bad. So the big one is her Q. This is her like sonic sound sensor thing. This only goes off when you make noise. And I don't know about you, but I feel like if you're flanking and you can literally in this game see the big ring in the minimap of like where you're making noise, when you're flanking, it's like, oh, I'm like getting behind them, they're pushing A. You're gonna start walking. And a lot of times what happens is people just walk past your trips. Your trips actually give you, like, negative information because a lot of people are like, oh, I see that there's a trip on our flank, which means that I can, like, you know, dodge it. Like, or not dodge it. I see that there's a trip on our flank, which means that I think our flank is being, like, watched. But, like, this is not a Killjoy trip. This is not a chamber trip. This is not any type of trip. This is one of the only trips in the game that every single class can get past, which is so fucking stupid. Like, I get that it's, like, detected based off sound, but if someone's, like, walking in front of it, and they like, get to this point, and it's like, oh, the trip is here, and they can detect it, because once you walk into range as an enemy, you can see where the trip is, and you can just be like, oh, there's a trip here. Oh, I have already, like, dodged it, and also, I didn't even, like, have to shoot it. I didn't have to get rid of it, so to, like, give away my position. So, the trip is pretty fucking pointless, and, like, people have gotten really creative with how to, like, use trips. A lot of them, like, you know, they put it in a situation where someone, like, has to, you know, activate it, so they put it here for, like, retakes, which is assuming that Deadlock as a character can get on site, because, like, this character doesn't really have much utility to help you get on site. So her trips are really dog shit, right? I don't think I've ever been hit or seen someone get hit by a trip, except in one situation, which is, like, you know, it's the bomb is planted and everyone's like fighting, retaking, fighting, and then they go to defuse and they tap it too quickly and they're like, oh, I didn't get rid of the trip, oh no, and then they get hit by it. Like, I've never seen anyone get hit by a Deadlock trip. So, that's number one. Number two is her grenade. This, like, I don't even remember what this ability's called, but, like, her crouch grenade, right? So, this ability, you know, you throw it out, and it takes a while to land, and it makes everyone who lands in it or is in this, like, circle, have to crouch. And then they have to remove a little dart. And it's like, okay, that's, like, an interesting ability. I mean, it's annoying. It's kind of like a Cypher cam mixed with, like, a Sage slow, in a way, with, like, a crouching function. But, like, this ability is so fucking useless. Because most of the time, the place you want to use it is somewhere that, like, you and your team want to actually get to. And so, you throw the little nade, and then the people, they hear this loud-ass fucking notification. Oh, I think they're gonna be nading this area, and then they back up, and then they can just walk into, like, the goopy goop afterwards, and it doesn't even matter, right? Because it only affects people who are in the circle when it first explodes. So, like, you can throw it down, and then I can, like, immediately walk into it again, and it just doesn't, like, do anything. Like, as long as you wait for this little, like, net animation to go away consistently, you won't get hit by it. So, what a lot of, like, Deadlock players do is they're like, oh, I know someone's, like, on this corner, I'm just gonna do this, and then, boop, and then, wow. That's, like, the only time I see people use this ability. Which, why would you use that ability if you can just, like, swing them? Because most of the time when they're crouched, it's like, oh, I have to, like, adjust my crosshair to go to, like, you know, like, chest-high placement instead of, like, actual head placement or some shit. It's just weird. And in terms of, like, this ability, it doesn't even like force enemies to leave the zone it's in. It's not like a raise nade, which will like kill you if you're in the zone, and it's not like a the gecko like mosh pit or whatever it's called, where it like actually zones people away. This just like tells them to, you know, sit in timeout. Like, it's timeout time, you gotta sit here, and then it wears off eventually anyways, and they can like remove the dart. Like, it doesn't actually force the people to move, right? So it comes to this like silly situation where it's like, you know, here, let me walk all the way over here. So imagine like I know someone is behind this crate, right? It's like painfully obvious. We saw him go there. Okay, I'm Deadlock. I'm gonna use my ability. Okay, so now he's crouching. How does this change things? He's crouching behind the crate. He's doing one of these. This makes it so much easier to kill him. You know, he's crouching. Whoa, amazing. Now, if there's a Raze on my team, I could just call him, hey, Raze, can you throw a nade behind this crate? And then, like, ping it, and then, like...
Over there.
Awesome, cool. She's dead. Or she has to swing out, and then, you know, like, die. And it's like, okay, cool. That was, like, me wasting one of my abilities to just do nothing. I've, like, never seen this ability get any type of utility or use. The only Deadlock abilities that are kind of useful is her E and her ultimate. Or I guess, like, people call this, like, her basic ability, right? But her ultimate is pretty good, because if you hit it on someone, it kind of forces a situation of like, okay, that person's probably going to die. And it's really good in 1v1s because it kind of can guarantee you that you win a 1v1, because you can just like shoot the other person and it's like, okay, well, now they're going to die on a timer, cool. But the problem is that you can count down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like, okay, that's a lot of charges for an ability that like will probably guarantee kill one person. But Deadlock as a character, she's not like a Jet, she's not like a Raze where it's like, you're gonna consistently be getting like a bunch of frags. You're not gonna like funnel ult orbs onto a Deadlock, right? You're usually gonna want to put those on like a Killjoy, or maybe like a Sky. Maybe if someone's like one away from ult, like a Chamber, you give it to him so you get Sizzle or whatever. I don't know, right? Point is, you're never gonna be funneling ult orbs to a Deadlock. So she's not gonna be ulting like 5 times a half or something. And on top of that, after you use her ultimate, like, they can still break it. It's not even like it's a guaranteed kill, because, like, if they stack a bomb site, if there's, like, 3 people here, and the person that you like, cocoon is, like, coming out this way, they can just kill the person killing you, or you can kill the Deadlock who did that ult, you can kill, like, all the other teammates, and then still free the person in the cocoon anyways, because it takes a long time for the cocoon to kill the person. And so, her ultimate's kind of, like, gimmicky. But we got her wall. And her wall is, like, just a worse Sage wall. I'm gonna say it, right? Because you throw it on the ground, and as soon as these walls go up, it has, like, a fuck ton of HP. Like, once it does this little animation... I'll do it again. Once, like, the little orbs in the middle go away, it becomes, like, a much stronger variant of itself. And, like, this wall has, like, an ungodly amount of HP. It's got a lot of HP. It takes a lot of bullets to kill it, which is good. The fucking problem, and why I say it's a worse Sage wall, is because you can still see through it. So, like a Sage wall blocks vision. It blocks information. If I throw this wall, the enemies can still see me through it, and worst of all, they can just still shoot me through it. And a lot of characters can get around this. Like, a Raze can just jump over it, a Jet can jump over it, an Omen can TP through it, a Reyna can dismiss through it, which, you know, means she has to get a kill, but, you know, it's solo queue, so she's probably gonna get a kill. Someone's gonna, like, dummy swing the wall or something. And also, the worst part is that, like, the wall also just kind of has this really long wind-up timer. So, like, if I say, oh, I hear steps B, they're running in B, you throw the wall, and then... oh no, my wall's gone. They just, like, triple sprayed it, and it doesn't matter. Like, I can't even stop a rush. Whereas with Sage, because of how her abilities work, she's got the wall, she's got the slow. She can actually, like, kind of dissuade the push. You know, she can slow it down. Oh yeah, guys! I'm gonna throw my incredible grenade at them! Yeah, yeet! And then, you know, oh wow, they're crouching. Whoa, it's amazing. Doesn't really feel like that great. If you want, you know, some kind of, like, reasoning that's more, I guess, straightforward than me doing this, watch any person who's doing, like, Deadlock to Radiant, and take note of how many times they show their abilities actually being used, because most of the times, it's like, you could get Radiant on any legend, or any, like, character you're playing, because, like, you're just a really good player, right? There's nothing that Deadlock gives you. There's no tools that Deadlock as a character is giving you that, like, enable you to carry these games harder. In fact, Deadlock actually makes it worse because a lot of the times it's like, you know, like, let's say I'm playing a Killjoy, right? Like, let's say I'm playing a Killjoy.
30 seconds left.
Is ready.
And when you're playing Killjoy, you're just like, okay, how do I watch the flank, right? Like, on attack, right? On attack, Sentinel's hardest thing is usually attacking, right? Okay, well, I've got a sentry there, and sentry gives me guaranteed information. So if someone breaks my sentry, I know there's someone on flank. I know with 100% certainty there's one guy somewhere in this, like, general area. I don't know how close they are, right? But I know where they are. I know that they're on our flank. I also have an alarm bot. I have 2 means of information. So if I really wanted to, I could do that. And then when I get all the way up to sight, boom, I place that. Now I got another little piece of information here on this little doorway here. Yeah, they can break them, but they actually activate. Like, the alarm bot will jump up if they walk into range of it, and the turret will shoot them if they walk past it. Like, it's going to happen. Oh, the spike is planted, like, right here? Here's my little, like, potato grenades. Whoa, okay, I'm actually, like, defending the spike. I have more utility than just running up to a fucking doorway and throwing my wall down and being like, okay, teammates, you can't play anywhere in here or anywhere behind here because I've walled it all off. It's like,
Recalling my bot.
it just seems stupid.
Recalling my
Like,
bot.
I can't think of a single Sentinel who doesn't outperform Deadlock consistently. And I'm not even gonna mention how good Killjoy ult is. So, yeah, Deadlock's dog shit.